Welcome to the Strategic Insight Global research update. This is more of a series on our new Asia book. We wrote 3 books already. And this video, features the client service element. In Asia, just as anywhere else in the world, client service and how you deliver it, especially in the crisis and after the crisis, has been probably the most important criterion. It actually was more important than performance if you think about existing relationships. So if you already had a relationship, we interviewed maybe 300 regional distributors and institutions, and they all talked about in their comments about how do I decide how to select or get rid of a manager. I do it according to relationship. If they have a good relationship, it's sticky. If it's not a good relationship, even the best performance only gets you so far. Some people select you, but they often say, the performance is good, but I don't like the team, and if the performance drops, they're out. So client service, of course, is a global phenomenon. Client service, though, when we looked at the various elements of client service, there's some surprising findings, and I'm going to share one with you. Before the crisis, client service was mostly measured as, are you on the ground? And it's a them versus us or them against us phenomenon, which means if you are just coming in to visit, you're part of them. Them meaning the headquarter in Europe or in the US or elsewhere, and there's a headquarter centricity because in the US or in Europe you build the business a certain way. The business details in Asia are very different. The needs are similar, but the execution and the operational details and the support is very different. Language-wise, regulatory-wise, sophistication of market-wise, it's very different. Because of that, it's this them versus us. Once you're on the ground, your budgets are tied to the local markets, the languages, you deal with the same issues, so now it's us versus them. Which means, before the crisis, being on the ground was the key criterion for client service excellence. That changed. Because as we discussed in prior videos, there's a tactical opportunity. Some managers didn't deliver on that. They were on the ground, but they didn't get back to the client. They didn't deliver the information they needed. They didn't deliver the speed and quality of responses that clients were accustomed to compared to other competitors. As a result, there's a tactical opportunity, and as a result, the client service element priorities shifted. Now, you have 3 other client service elements that are on top. The most important one is the speed of the response. The second one is the quality of the response. The third one is the technical expertise of your team. So you have these 3 elements really looking at how quickly do you respond, how well do you respond, and does your local team, not only the portfolio manager, but does your local team have the technical expertise needed to satisfy the client request? And that ties us into the war for talent. Because you need the talent on all levels. You need qualified client relationship managers that speak the local language, that know the relationship, that in many cases have been there sometimes 10 years, 15 years. They know the market. You need the local talent, or not the local, but you need the talent on the portfolio management side, access to the portfolio manager, delivery of updates on a regular basis, talent. You need the managers that understand the local intricacies and how to build the business, talent. There's the war for talent in Asia, just as in any market, but maybe in Asia even more so because the specific requirements, understanding that market, the younger market, are much higher. We actually had meetings with clients in China, and the industry really is less than 10 years old. So when you have 10 years experience in China, you're very experienced. If you have it in the US, you're not that experienced. So there's much more a greater need for that talent. And going back to client service, that's the technical expertise of that talent. But the speed and quality of response are now becoming a substitute for being on the ground. So in the past, you were on the ground, it was commitment. Now it doesn't matter whether you're on the ground, as long as you respond quickly and as long as your quality is good. Which means that's an important shift, where also in the next couple of years, if you're thinking about expanding in Asia or getting into Asia, you don't have to be on the ground right away. It's okay as long as your speed, quality, and technical expertise of responses is good. So, thinking about client service, the most important criterion, they give you a little leeway. You don't have to fully commit right now as long as that quality is good. It's a tactical opportunity. It is the most important criterion for many distributors and institutions, so take advantage of it We'll feature a couple of case studies, of course, in the book, and any questions you have, you can let us know. Thank you for watching this Strategic Insight Global Research Update.